brought to you in part by FanDuel. Live bet the long ball with multiple profit boosts on live home run bets every Sunday. By Nissan, hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And the New York Yankees take the field. The rain has finally subsided, and we will play the final game of this three-game set between the Yankees and the Marlins. Yankees have gotten off to a great start, 7-1. The Marlins are 5-3. Max Fried taking his warm-ups. We'll take a look at the Marlins starting lineup that he's going to face. Austin Slater will lead off. Good numbers lifetime against left-handed pitching. Ramirez second, Marcy third. Then you have Lopez, Hernandez, and Norby. That's the middle of the order. On the bottom third, the red-hot Xavier Edwards. Liam Hicks will catch, also off to a great start. And Javier Sanoa will play third base, and he's going to bat ninth.
And as day turns into night, Max Fried's going to start a night game now. So here you go. He's ready to go. I mean, he has been so sharp. Those numbers tell you everything. A whole lot of nothing, really. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report for Max Fried. And really, to me, he's a double threat. He's got great stuff, but he's also got great shape on all of his pitches. He's completely unpredictable. That combination induces weak contact. He's yet to give up a barrel. Nobody squared him up yet in these first two starts, and to me, that's ace-level efficiency, the way this guy goes about his job.
While we check out the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge. Pretty much what it's been. McMahon, Caballero, Chisholm, and Rice. That's third to first. Wells behind the plate. And Stanton will be the DH. Manny Gonzalez is behind the plate. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Manny's considered hitter-friendly. He's had 5 calls challenged when he's working behind the plate. 4 of them have been overturned. He calls fewer inside strikes, fewer outside strikes on lefty batters. 17th big league season. Tom Hanahan, the first base ump. Derek Thomas, second base. Scott Barry is over at third. Ron Culpa got hit with a foul ball yesterday. He is going to sit it out for a while, so they bring in Derek Thomas as the 4th umpire. Slater is ready. Fried is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch, a strike. We're underway. Scheduled for 1:35 first pitch. It is 5:10 when Fried delivered the first pitch. And another strike. 0-2.
You know, the thing I love about Max Fried is you were talking about stuff and the shape of his stuff. He pitches to contact, and that's why he gets deep in the games. And because he induces so much weak contact, he doesn't give up a lot of runs.
Well, that's how you get deep into the game. Yes, that's how you pitch innings.
That one is looped in the left center field. It's a base hit. Bellinger will get it in, a leadoff single for Slater.
Got a changeup up right there. That's not what he was trying to do. Look at Max Fried's reaction. The minute it leaves his hand, you know you made a mistake on 0-2. A gift for Slater.
Because of his ability to get so many ground balls, he's always one pitch away from getting out of an inning. Double play ball.
And a strike. David, can it adversely affect a starter who was mentally prepared to pitch at 135?
I mean, yeah, it can. It depends on the personality.
But the one thing that we would always try to do, Michael, is communicate with the starter on a regular basis. Like, right. I'm sure he knew last night there was really a good chance this game wasn't going to start till 5 o'clock. That's how good radar is. And the best weather reports always came from Hal Steinbrenner. He had that pilot's radar, and some of the forecasted he would give us, I would say, no way, no way. And he was always right.
Can you text him right now and see how we are for the rest of the night? We okay?
Well, I looked. I think we're okay. I feel good about it.
1-2. Couldn't hold up. Goes around. One down.
Good looking cutter right here. You can see the late movement. Boy, that started out on the inside corner. Just kept going in there. That is a sword for Max Fried here in the first.
That's how you get hit in the back knee right there.
You know who had a good one of those? Ron Guidry. Full swing and hit you in your kneecap.
Kerry Wood was one of the best I ever saw.
There's Jacob Marcy. And a strike. So Fried, as always, filling the strike zone. Now, if you're wondering, why did they wait so long for this game? It's an interleague game. It's the only time these two teams are going to meet. There are very few off days, which would cause a lot of problems travel-wise. So they decided, well, there seems to be an opening at about 5 o'clock. We're going to have to wait. And when you have interleague play, that's going to happen because you only play that team once.
I don't know how you felt, but I would have, as a player, rather waited than giving up an off day later in the season.
I'm impressed with the crowd. Hung in here today. I mean, this is a good crowd for somebody who's been waiting 5 hours. You know what? If you're, hop the subway, get on up here. If you're here, yeah. Still got time. These people have waited and they're ready. Impressive.
Runner goes. The throw to second. Goes into center field. Slater stays put as Grisham retrieves. Stolen base for Austin Slater.
Really good jump by Austin Slater. Not much of a chance for Wells here. But I like what Caballero does. He keeps the tag.
The catcher to challenge for the call of a ball.
Yankees will challenge that ball call, and
Ball is confirmed. It's a ball.
it's confirmed. So they lost their challenges fairly early yesterday as well. So Austin Wells challenged this.
And it's tough when you're a catcher and you're trying to challenge something like that because you're moving. But Caballero kept his tag on Slater, and Slater thought he had the ball, and he didn't get up and try to go to third with the ball in center field.
Who, me?
Swing and a miss. Marcy down on strikes.
75-mile-an-hour curveball. Look at that. Just drop off the table. He missed that by half a foot.
He was a little bit out front, you'd say, and a little bit over it.
That's a good-looking curveball right there.
Here's Otto Lopez. 9 for 30 to start off the year, scoring 7 runs. Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. Slater rounds third. He'll score. Grisham gets the ball in, and it's an RBI single for Lopez, and it's 1-0 Marlins.
Lopez led their team in RBIs last year and is really good in those situations. He's just aggressive and hits a ground ball through, and Max looks like he's thinking, man, could I have gotten that? Just gets through the infield too quick. The Marlins are on the board. They are a pesky team. They do not strike out, and they put the ball in play. Plenty of base hits. They don't walk a lot. They don't hit for power, but
That was impressive hitting right there. That was a cutter almost in off the plate, and he fought it off up the middle.
First run allowed by Fried this year. Heriberto Hernandez takes the ball 1-0. Fly ball left field. Going back, Bellinger makes the play in front of the truck for the final out. Marlins 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. Yankees coming to bat.
We are the Mount Pleasant Colonials 12U team, and this is your Yankees lineup. Batting first, playing center field, Trent Grisham.
Batting second, playing right field, and Judge. Batting third, playing left field, Cody Bellinger.
Batting fourth, playing first base, Ben Rice.
Batting fifth, DH Giancarlo Stanton.
Batting sixth, playing second base, Josh Chisholm Jr.
Batting seventh, playing catcher, Austin Wells. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Jose Caballero.
Batting ninth, playing third base, Ryan McMahon. On the mound, Max Fried. Let's go Yankees!
Good job, young man. Outstanding. As they give you the Yankee lineup on this Sunday. The kid who introduced Caballero has a voice for radio. What a great, it sounds like John Sterling. Pete Fairbanks will get the start for the Miami Marlins. And there's a story behind that. He is their closer. Chris Paddock was the announced starter, and then they changed it.
Yeah, they're going with the opener strategy in our Nissan pitcher scouting report. He's going on the paternity list after the game, and family finally got to him. And when you think about it, okay, get through it and get on out of here. More important family stuff.
Remember Fairfield with Fairbanks with the Tampa Bay Rays. He had a 1-year, $11 million option that the team declined to pick up the end of last year. So he signed a 1-year, $13 million deal with the Marlins. So he made out okay.
Yeah, a little surprised that pitch wasn't challenged. It looked like Hicks was thinking about it. It was a good breaking ball. He's always had a really good breaking ball. Pitches up in the zone with his fastball on, and that hard curveball or slider or whatever you want to call it.
Woo! 3-2. Now Fairbanks' wife is supposed to be induced tomorrow, and then he waited over 3.5 hours to make the open. So it seems a little odd. I mean, maybe he'll scoot out of here right after the first inning and catch a plane. I believe that the birth is going to happen in Tampa. And then Paddock will pitch after that. And another walk for Grisham, who's been a walking man in this series. Check the defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. And let's concentrate on Liam Hicks. He's our Core-Shield defensive player profile. And you can run on him. 10.9% of the time he catches base stealers. That's last. They allowed 205 stolen bases. The Marlins catchers did. That's last.
Michael, you were talking about Trent Grisham, a walking machine. That's his 9th walk of the season.
Amazing.
Yeah. That will keep that on-base percentage up there.
How about the shoes on Judge? He is dressed for Easter. He's got pink gloves. He's got pink shoes.
Yellow, light blue.
Nice.
Size 17s, Joe.
Is it 17?
17.
And that is challenged.
The catcher is catch Holland at the caller ball.
It was called the ball. Hicks is challenging. Ramirez 4 for 4 yesterday, and Hicks is following right along. Gets it turned into a strike.
2-1.
They might not be able to throw out base stealers, but boy, can they challenge.
They've been on a run here.
They could throw out some challenges.
Yeah. Tap of the helmet magic.
Interesting thing about Fairbanks is he was so dominant against the Yankees from 19 to 24, 2019, ERA of 2.21. Last year in 7 games, 6.43. The Yankees hit 3 home runs. Overexposure sometimes can be dangerous. When you're at Tampa Bay, you see the Yankees so many times.
There was a lot of talk about him getting traded last trade deadline. A lot of interest around the league. The Tampa Bay held on to him and then released him. I mean, or let him go, as Michael documented before. So very unusual turn of events. But he can pitch. He's been good. Good stuff.
Right center field on the run, Marcy and Slater. And it falls in front of Slater. Good base running by Grisham as he gets the second ahead of the throw. Had a base hit for Judge. First and second, nobody out.
Yeah, I got to believe for any outfielder, when Aaron Judge hits the ball in the air, your first step is back. It's not going to be in, and he hits it off the end, breaks his bat. It's able to get it between Marcy and Slater. Slater tries to give Grisham a second, but as Michael said, really good base running, getting out there and reading the ball, not being so close to first base. And it's a little risky, but a really good job.
Here's Cody Bellinger, first and second, nobody out. Yankees trail 1-0. Now Fairbanks 32 years old, and that's also a pitch clock violation. So that's going to be a ball against Fairbanks.
It's a universal sign, right? When you point at your watch like your old man.
What time are you supposed to be home?
Late.
You can see how the Marlins do. The pitches come from the bench, and they look at on the wrist. You know, he gives him like 3 numbers, and the 3 numbers are probably on a graph, and then he's able to a grid. I mean, then he has to give it to Fairbanks, and Fairbanks either agrees or disagrees.
You know, my question to you, Joe, would be this. What about espionage? You know, we got so much of it in today's game where the coaches have to stay in the box now. Now they're going to have videos trained on these guys. How long before they break the code?
Okay, usually what they'll do is they'll go 0 to 9 across the top, 0 to 9 across the, along the side. And if I hit 2-2,
slow roller, hugs the line, and Hicks makes a nice play.
So what I was saying there is if I hit 2-2, it could be fastball away. Well, 4-6 could be fastball away. So it's really going to be hard. They're going to have those pitches a number of times throughout the sequence, and then they can change it. They can switch, what they are, change it during the middle. So it's really, you're not going to pick it up. I saw Wake Forest do it, and the catcher and the pitcher had different sheets on their arms, and the pitcher kept getting crossed, or the catcher kept getting crossed up. I'm like, you're going to kill this poor kid.
Infield is in for Ben Rice, so they bring the infield in with runners on second and third and 1 out.
So 3 might be along the top, 5's on the side. You go there, and there's the pitch.
Rob Marcello, the assistant pitching coach, calls the pitches from the bench. Now, because Fairbanks is a veteran, 8 years in the big leagues, he was asked if he's concerned about the pitches being called from the bench. He said whether it comes from the dugout or the catcher, somebody's got to call the pitches. His concern was about the pitch clock running out. But the team assured him that there were no excess violations. that they would get it to the catcher quickly. Foul back.
So I guess too, Joe, the theory is that you're taking the pressure off the catcher, right? From thinking, so he can just control framing and worry about execution, the pitcher as well. And
yeah, you can worry about the blocking, the framing, and now they have the challenge they have to worry about. And maybe you can worry a little bit more about hitting. Ramirez is an offensive catcher.
Drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Into the second deck. An absolute missile. Rice with a 3-run home run. They lead 3-1.
What he has done all year long. Hard contact. 110 off the bat, 410 feet. Home run number 3, RBIs 9, 10, and 11. And he loves it. Last time he struck out 3 times. He hit a home run after. He struck out 3 times yesterday. Took him to the next day, though.
3 home runs last 4 games for Ben Rice. And there's a bullet base hit off the bat of Stanton. Marcy gets the ball in. Stanton with a single.
He continues to hit the ball hard as well. And as we look at Rice here, it's a 2-strike count. They're trying to go fastball up, and he gets it thigh high, and that's a danger zone against the left-handed hitter. And he knows exactly what to do with it. And this is a home run in any ballpark. This ball had some distance to it, and it got there awful quickly.
There's Jazz Chisholm, 1 for 8 in this series. Got off to a slow start.
So I'm thinking the young man who introduced the game, and you're going to see this, you're going to see him stay behind this ball. Look how deep he hits that ball. And it's the angle of the bat. It's not where you hit the ball a lot of times in your body. It's the angle of the bat that allows you to pull it.
Yep.
But he did when he introduced him, the Euro step. Maybe Jazz is going deep today.
Jazz got some attention yesterday in the 9th inning when he laid back on a ground ball and allowed the leadoff hitter to reach in the 9th inning, causing Bednar to throw a lot of pitches again as he closed the game. And Aaron Boone said that can't happen. He didn't rip him or anything, so he knows that can't happen. Meredith, you spoke to a couple people about that?
Well, Aaron Boone did have a conversation with Jazz Chisholm Jr. When I spoke to Jazz in the clubhouse this morning, I asked him about that play in the 9th, and he told me it was a wet night towards the end of it, a cold night. He just wanted to make sure that he had a proper grip on the baseball. When he first grabbed it, he didn't feel like he had a grip. That took an extra second, and that extra second was all it took for the base runner to reach. So he said he doesn't want to throw the ball away in that situation. Obviously would have liked to have gotten rid of it faster, but it was more about getting a grip on the baseball.
You know, you could say no harm, no foul because the Yankees won. But the harm is you're making Bednar throw all those pitches again. That's 2 straight outings where Bednar has thrown an extraordinary high amount of pitches.
And then he's not probably available today.
Yes.
That's the problem. But as I watched that play again, what happened was he kind of laid back on a little bit and didn't get the short hop, and he didn't catch it clean. So when he went to grab the ball, he fumbled it because he caught it off his last 2 fingers in the glove, and usually catch it in the middle, and you know exactly the ball wasn't where he thought it was, and that's what cost him. Tony, there's the sheriff.
Did he go? Nope. Says Scott Barry.
Definitely did go. Good call by Scott Barry.
And that's a ball, and it's going to be challenged by Hicks.
The
Team
catcher is
ABS
down
challenge.
for ball.
They get it right again.
Call it a
Strike
strike.
3.
The batter is out.
Well, the Marlins know what they're doing with the challenge, but they're having a tough time keeping the Yankees down. Ben Rice. Bam. Or as Mike Breen would say, bang. A 3-run home run. 3-1 Yanks. FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Grisham plus 470. McMahon plus 440. I took
Ben
Elite
Rice
3-1.
yesterday. Does that count, Michael?
If you got the one yesterday?
Yes.
No, that's not how betting works. It takes the gamble out of the aspect.
If I just pick my day,
Yes.
I want it to happen.
Yeah.
After it happens.
One on Connor Norby. So the Yankees have given Fried the lead after Fried allowed his first run in his third start.
It has to be frustrating for hitters to try to hit off of him because he's got in and out and pitches that he tunnels side to side, but also up and down. He's got them both.
He does. And he saves that four-seamer up top for when he needs it. You know, all of a sudden it's 97 when he needs
Yes,
it. He doesn't
yes.
use it all the time.
Well, all of us here at Yes thank all of you at home that are watching the show. Happy Passover, happy Easter to all. You're enjoying this day with your family and friends. Still 3-2. Fried deals. And he walks Connor Norby to start the second.
That's a really good start to the year. 467. Second in the majors in hits, 14.
The tough out.
Hit in every Marlin game, 8-game hitting streak, and a strike. So since the beginning of 2024, he's hit 303. Now Judge leads all major league hitters since the beginning of 2024.
And that's extremely impressive because you look at that list, it's really short. And he's ahead of a Rise who never strikes out. Edwards doesn't strike out a lot either. And there used to be a number of people that hit around 3. Not today. All because you pitchers got so good.
So on Nardi yesterday, he's getting ready to come in. Also, with that batting average, he's stolen a lot of bases over that time as well. Been a pretty complete player. 51 steals. Two and one on Edwards. Marlins are set up the middle defensively. Edwards is a really good defender, and Lopez, after moving from second, is a really good defender at short.
Michael, you make a good point because they switched positions. Edwards was the shortstop, And then he was like a -7 outs above average. And he was like a +9 at second base. And it helped him offensively. It helped Lopez offensively.
Fouled away.
How frustrating is it for a pitcher when guys keep fouling balls away?
Extremely frustrating, yes. And that's what these Marlins do to you, right? They're hard to put away. They may not have a lot of thump in their lineup like the Yankees, but they have a lot of tough outs.
Shortstop. There's one. On to first. It's a double play.
Yeah, really good feed by Caballero. He's got something behind that ball, and Jazz has got a good arm. And it looks like, ooh, this is pretty close. But they got it.
Yeah,
Edwards gets down the line.
He thought he was safe. It's another example that ball players are better at playing than umpiring.
Unless you're a catcher for the Marlins.
There are exceptions.
That's why I would love the challenge on the field to be like the ABS challenge.
Oh, interesting. The players have to do it.
Let the players do it. You'd save time rather than the manager holding his hand up and they're looking at the replay. Let the player challenge in real time. Give them 2 challenges.
I like where you're going with this.
Popped up. McMahon makes the play in foul territory. That'll do it. We go to the bottom of the second.
Stadium teams throughout Major League Baseball are still very much getting used to the ABS challenge system. We've seen the Marlins have a lot of success with it throughout this series. The Yankees, well, they've had some miscues this series, but on the road, they were tremendous, getting over 80% of the challenges right. That has dipped to 67.5% since this series began. And Aaron Boone said while he likes the system overall, he knows that it is still taking some time to get used to for his players. One thing he does not want to see, even if they challenge early in the games, he doesn't want guys to get shy in the batter's box if they think they have ability to turn a count around. We saw Ben Rice with a challenge that didn't go his way the other day. He said he wants to make sure that he still has the green light to challenge, not to second guess it. One thing in speaking with Austin Wells is that this team is going to continue to be aggressive early in the game. They are not going to save those challenges for late in the game, even if that means that they may lose those challenges like we saw yesterday. Overall, the system has been pretty good. And Michael, I think it's been exciting as well for fans here at the ballpark.
I think fans have enjoyed it. They're engaged with it, and it's right there in front of them. As Caballero hits one down the left field line. Hernandez runs out of room. Marlins are using the lefty, Andrew Nardi. They have not gone to Chris Paddock, who was supposed to start the game. And then they opened with Pete Fairbanks, so now it's Nardi. Maybe McCullough looks at the lineup, sees righty, lefty, lefty.
It's a lane.
Yeah.
There's always a lane.
This series, Marlins 9 for 10 in ABS challenges. Yankees have connected on just 1 in 6 tries.
And you pretty much guaranteed this early they're not going to pinch hit. You know, later in the game, you might have to face a Goldschmidt. But the weird thing for me is Paddock had started to warm up, and then he has to sit back down. It makes me wonder, did something happen?
It's hard to mess with a veteran starter like that, up and down. And although he's had some experience relieving, but that's tricky.
Caballero trying to find his stroke. Just 4 hits and 27 at bats. Well, Nardi pitched last night. Walked 3 of the 4 batters he faced. He walked Rice, Stanton, and Goldschmidt. He's up 0-2 on Caballero. Slow roller. Nardi. Got him. Dangerous play as Norby reaches in to where the runner was running, but pulled his hand back in time. We've seen injuries happen that way.
Yeah, really dangerous because Norby's a third baseman by trade. This is not something he's had to do a lot, and he did a good job of staying on the bag. That's a tricky play. For a guy that hasn't played a lot of first base, maybe he doesn't know any better to get out of the way.
That was one heck of a play right there. Wow.
Cliff Voigt got hurt on a play like that. It was Ryan McMahon. He is 0 for his last 19. Got a bases hit his first time up against the Giants, but been hitless since then. He's a .240 hitter with the Rockies in his career. 62 games with the Yankees, hitting .190. Boone talked today about he wants him to be selective, but not at the price of aggressive. He said he wants him to take his cuts up there. He said sometimes he's being too careful.
Yeah, I would say I think he's somewhat of a passive hitter. And he's got thunder in that bat. You want him to get as many swings as possible, to me.
Now Paddock's back up. Two and two. And down goes McMahon.
That's a pretty tough pitch after breaking ball, and then he runs that fastball in on you. And it's got velocity to it. It's 95, 96, and he tries to pull his hands in, just can't get to it. And watch him pull his hands in here. Whoop, nope.
And Grisham jumps on the first pitch and skies it to center field. Marcy back makes the play on the track, and the Yankees go down in order against Nardi. We'll go to the third. Chris Paddock thought he was starting today, then said second inning, and then they brought in Nardi, and finally Paddock's warm-up is over, and he is coming in. Who picks the bottom of the third inning? Wow.
Nicknamed the Sheriff, Michael.
That's definitely more Andy Taylor than Barney Fife. Strike to Sanoa.
This guy's been a pest in this series. 2 for 5, a couple RBIs, good at bats.
Well, when Fried gave up a run in the first, there's still only one Yankee in history to pitch 6 or more shutout innings in his first 3 games of the season, and that's right-hander Ray Caldwell. He did it in 1914 and eventually ran his scoreless streak to 29 innings, and that year pitched to a 1.94 season ERA. And he was a different bird. I think you would have liked him, David. In 1919, August 24th, he was at Cleveland. He was 1 out away from a complete game victory over the A's, and he was struck by lightning on the mound and knocked out cold. Right side. On the run, Judge. 1 out. Well, a few minutes later, after getting struck by lightning, he woke up and he got the final out. couple of weeks later, on September 10th against the Yankees at the Polo Grounds, he pitched a no-hitter against his former team. Now, Ray Caldwell was also known for his hard living off the field. In his obituary in the 1967 Sporting News, it said, quote, his escapades were legendary. You'd like that line in yours, right, David?
I'll go with that. Yeah, that works.
I think it's some pretty strong accusations there, Coney.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's an urban legend, right? Nobody wakes up from a lightning strike and gets the last out. That did not happen, did it?
It happened.
How long was that delay?
10 minutes.
It's like an action figure. He woke up and got the last out.
What if he was throwing harder when he
Out
came?
cold.
Yeah.
He was out cold.
Well, he had electric stuff. 2-0 on Austin Slater, who started the game with a single left center, stole second, came around to score on Lopez's single. Yankees lead 3-1 on the Ben Rice 3-run home run.
Coney, what was the hardest thing to do pitching on cold days? It's not terrible today. Was it harder to throw your fastball, or was it harder to throw your off speed?
All grips. Anything under 50 degrees in the weather. Anything, wind chill, anything that gets you under 50. Circulation in your fingertips, the touch and feel, especially a guy like Max. Throws 7 different pitches and a lot of different spins and variations. The best guys to pitch in cold weather were the big, strong four-seamer, 2-pitch guys.
Woo! 3-2 on Slater. And the payoff. Yankees looking for a sweep of their second series of the year. They opened up season 3 in San Francisco against the Giants, won all 3. Then they lost the first one in Seattle, came back and won the final 2, so they took 2 out of 3. Now they've taken the first 2 of this series. Yankees are 7-1. And that's tied for the best start in Yankee history. 10 teams have done it now, 7-1 start. 3 teams in Yankee history have started 8-1. 1988, 2003, and 2020. Through the legs of Fried and right into center field, a base hit. Right between the wickets, so Slater with a second hit.
Second hit off of Max Fried, and he hasn't hit one of them hard yet. He had the little blooper between short and left this time. Sounds like he breaks his bat here, goes between the legs of Max Fried.
It's the second one of those we've seen, right? Tim Hill had one of those through the wickets last night.
Want to know on Ramirez. Ramirez came to the Marlins from the Yankees in the Jazz Chisholm Jr. trade. And the amazing thing, you look around baseball, the Yankees really produce catchers. There are ex-Yankee farmhands all over the big leagues, catching a lot of games behind the plate for a lot of different teams. 1-2.
Catcher's you, right here.
It's so true. Throughout the industry, they know it. Give Tanner Swanson a lot of credit for kind of being a trailblazer in that category.
Michael, when I was with the Chicago Cubs, here are the catchers that are on active roster. There's
Yankees
9.
have 3 of them. Trevino was traded to the Reds for Cruz, and Narvaez for Elmer Rodriguez. We told you about Ramirez, Flores with the Pirates, Torrens with the Mets. Workfeld was traded to the Rays, and the Dodgers now in the Mets system. That's a lot of catching production as Ramirez down on strikes.
Michael, as I was saying, I was with the Cubs in instructional ball, and there were 8 catchers there. This is when you used to play like 30 games in the instructional ball. All 8 made it to the big leagues. Wasn't a lot of playing time in instructional ball.
Wow.
All 8.
Were you the best of the 8?
No, Damon. I went with a broken thumb and couldn't play until the last week. I caught bullpens and couldn't play until the last week. Damon Berryhill, Rick Rona, Hector Villanueva, and there was 8 of us. It was incredible.
So that little C on that stood for catchers.
I guess.
0-1 on Marcy. See, Fried kept that leg hanging up there that time to slow down Slater at first.
Kelly Mann was in that. Rick Wilkins. That will hold the runner.
See Max Fried after every pitch. He wants feedback. He looks up at the scoreboard to see all the information that you can get at the top of the scoreboard here in terms of movement profile, velocity.
Left field, deep going back. Bellinger on the run. He makes the play. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And today's picture is from Rebecca, who's sharing her love of the Yankees with her granddaughter, Hannah. That doesn't look like Hannah's grandma. That's a very young grandma right there. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in the pictures you post to social media. Reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game.
See, I'm learning. I got a filter, Michael. I did not comment on that.
But I could feel what you were thinking, and I didn't like it. Just chase outside.
I'm learning, Joe. I'm learning.
Yeah, you're in your 60s now. I mean, it's about time.
Maturity.
Let me tell you something, Joe. That filter didn't work in Seattle.
Late nights, Michael.
Yeah.
Not used to that time.
It's a different broadcast after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, late night Yanks. The 2-0. 2-1 on Judge. Judge with a single in the first. That one is drilled to center field. Marcy back, still back, on the track, it's over his head, and off the base of the wall. Judge is going for 2, and he's going to make it. Leadoff double.
Well, Michael, you talked about how he was getting hot in the pregame, and this is his 6th hit in the series, and he hits this ball extremely hard. It's a little cutter that doesn't have a lot of break. Cutters get hit really hard a lot of times, and Aaron Judge has shown that he has the ability to hit a breaking ball. In the first game, hits this ball over Marcy's head. He almost gets to it, but he does a good job of getting it in and actually making it somewhat of a close play for Aaron Judge. But you know, I was looking at some numbers on Chris Paddock. I think it's the Easter gloves, Michael.
You think it?
I think it is. Runners on, Coney, a 304 average and a 900 OPS. Nobody on at 249 and 731. So this has been problematic for him with runners on.
Yeah, his style is a front to back style. It's fastball changeup. So if you can eliminate one of those as a hitter, if you can lay off of that changeup down, then boy, now you can kind of pigeonhole some fastballs out over the plate like Judge did, or at least off speed high.
He's always had a great changeup.
Take a look at the Arsenal StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
You see that, it's four-seamer changeup, and yeah, he's got a cutter and a curveball. The rest of it's kind of, cursory, so to speak, but it's a front-to-back style, meaning fast and slow.
Cursory?
Just for show.
He's tried to add a sweeper this year, too. He's trying to get more break on his breaking balls. It's something that he's always struggled with. His changeup's been so effective. That's something he's worked really hard with the Marlins on.
And Bellinger works a walk. So first and second, nobody out for red-hot Ben Rice. What a swing in the first inning for Rice. A 3-run home run into the second deck and right. It was out in an eye blink. Take a look at the Rice home run, the exit velocity, presented by Spectrum. Got out in a hurry, 110 miles an hour, about 410 feet. Ground ball, grabbed by Norby, and he throws it into left field. Judge will score. Bellinger goes to third. Rice is at second, and the Yankees lead 4-1.
We talked about Nardi has been primarily a third baseman in his career. He does a really good job of fielding us, getting in position to throw it, but he just throws it on the inside part of the bag to Lopez. You wonder if he kind of lost it a little bit, expecting it to be on the outside. Now the Yankees are set up for a big inning, second and third, nobody out. They're bringing the infield in with Stanton. Now this is dangerous. Forget the coaches. See Rojas running back towards the bench. It's like, I'm not getting down that line.
Stanton's single in the first was 115 miles an hour. Just a P-Rod.
Ground ball. Sanoa checks the runner back and then fires the first to get Stanton. If you are keeping score at home, that's scored a fielder's choice for Rice. And Joe, you were right. They gave the error to the second baseman, not to the first baseman. They thought that the ball should have been caught.
That's Lopez's fourth error already this year. He only made 12 last year. Fourth error. How would they give it to the second baseman? They threw it to the shortstop.
I thought it was a shortstop, but it is E4, they say. Infield remains in. Jazz also going with the Easter pink spikes that work for Judge.
Looked like Hicks and Sanoha had a pickoff on Bellinger there. You saw him kind of hop out of his crouch trying to pick someone off, and I don't think Belly's off far enough to do that. A little bit risky.
You're right. It was the shortstop. They announced it incorrectly, so it's E6, not E4.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough play for Lopez because he's thinking it's going to be on the outside of the bag, and then he throws it to the inside. Sometimes when you get your feet stuck, you don't move your feet, and that's when you miss ball.
Or if you're preparing to return the throw, right? You
Yeah.
get your feet set to make a turn, and then you kind of get caught flat-footed.
But that's the thing. When you get stuck on the bag instead of staying a little bit behind it and coming to it, you know, you can't move your feet as well.
Time called.
You see Jazz putting a pretty good at bat here on Paddock, laying off those changeups. You just got to finish the at bat. Find a way to get one of these runs in.
Probably not deep enough to score a run. Marcy makes a catch, and they throw behind Bellinger, who's just bluffing. He gets back. Chisholm not off to the start that he wants. But the team is winning, so nobody really has to stress at this moment.
You know, that's an interesting point, Michael. Yeah, they really haven't clicked up and down the lineup as of yet, and the pitching has carried them.
Wells swings and misses.
And I think sometimes as a free agent, you could really, really press a little bit and try to get off to a great start. And you really got to keep it in perspective. It's only 9 games. It's not like it's a month. It's not like it's 2 months. But it's not easy.
Yeah, I would think, you know, in some sense, it's a confidence builder for the Yankees internally. When you look at, well, we're not even clicking offensively yet, and we're off to a hot start.
One and two on Wells. Wells struck out looking in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Wells down on strikes. But the Yankees get a run. They do it a different way. Aaron Judge hits one as hard as you can. That's a double to center field. Now Ben Rice, it's an E6. That's a run. You do it any way you can. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Yankees, the official source for your Yankees gear. Tri-State's Cadillac scoreboard, it's Yankees 4 and the Marlins 1. Let's go to the 4th inning. Max Fried against Lopez, Hernandez, and Norby. Off the end of the bat, so quickly 0-2. Coming into the game, Miami led the majors with a .284 batting average, and their .817 OPS led all of the National League. So they're pesky. They're pesky offensively. And the 0-2 fouled away. Now, we did make a little history, everybody, yesterday. 347 for a 9-inning game. That's the longest 9-inning game since the pitch clock came into play in the majors, not just the Yankees.
Felt like it. A lot of walks again.
Total was 349. Don't want to rob us of 2 minutes.
You know, that ain't nothing. We used to average that at Camden Yards back in the 90s. Played some 4-hour games regularly.
Well, we went there for a 2-game series. The first game went 15 innings, and then the next game I went 9, or it was vice versa. It was 10 hours of baseball in 2 games. Boston split doubleheader, 4 hours and 4 hours. Oh my goodness. When you're playing, it doesn't seem that long.
But you're winning. It doesn't seem as long. These people waited today for a game to start, and they're seeing it.
Broken bat, pop up. Caballero, second put out of the inning.
How about Max Fried trying to run that down? I mean, he's a Gold Glove pitcher. He wasn't quite sure where it was going to end up, but he was going to get it. Coney, you would have pointed.
Yeah, and I'm getting out of the way. That was my philosophy on pitchers fielding, the anti-Jim Cott style.
Connor Norby takes a strike.
I was tapping my head there, Coney. I was trying to see how good I was at this.
You were
I
right.
did, yeah. I wanted to challenge that.
That could have been.
He's 11 for 15 on first pitch strikes.
You can't hide. They got you. They got eyes on you
this
everywhere.
camera used to be on Michael. Now it's on me because we switched spots in the booth. I might have to adjust this camera a little bit so it can get on Mike more. There we go.
You never liked the paparazzi, right?
There's some privacy issues here.
Been trying to hide my whole life.
And there's a walk. Norby with a 2-out walk, so he's walked twice against Fried.
You can see by Max's body language. He knows exactly what he did wrong on that pitch, that changeup. He just dropped his arm a little bit, lost it, arm side. Classic miss for pitchers when you're just a little too quick and your arm drags and you get behind it and push it.
Are you saying your lower half's too quick?
Yes, exactly. You know, there's feedback on every pitch for a pitcher. Wherever you're aiming and where it ends up gives you the immediate feedback, you know, whether your lower half or your upper half, which part was in front or out of sync, so to speak. So the adjustment should be quick, and a guy like Max Fried is great at making adjustments on the fly.
Line drive. It is a base hit to right field off the bat of Edwards. It goes into the corner. Putting it out there is Judge. They're waving home Norby. Here's the throw. He's in there with the run. It's an RBI double for Edwards, and the Yankees now lead 4-2.
This Edwards kid continues to hit. We talked about top 5 in batting average since 2024. And right side is supposed to be his weak side. He hits his double down the right field line, and Norby runs pretty well. I mean, he's not a slow third baseman / first baseman, and is able to score on this double. Not sure about the head first slide into right field, but the walk cost him.
Yeah, scoring from first on a double.
That's that extra base taken. He hit .236 against lefties last year.
Pitch to Liam Hicks is the ball.
You know, the one thing I can say about watching this Marlin team, they don't go away. They keep coming at you and putting tough at bats on you.
You can kind of feel them coming on, right? Some of the trades they've made. We always know that they've had good arms in pitching, good young prospects, hard throwers, but they're starting to put it together. You kind of feel them coming, and we talked about them last year, how strong they finished up last year. They play with an edge. You know, they come to play. It's a different Marlins team, without a doubt.
Two and one. Left field. Bellinger will put it away. Marlins get a run on one hit, one man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Yanks up by 2. Straight talk stats. Paddock, since 2025, has given up 33 home runs, 5th most in the majors, and the Yankees hit home runs, so it's a good marriage. 283 over that time, and that leads the majors. Caballero will lead it off. Yankees lead 4-2. Bottom of the fourth. Yankees trying to sweep this 3-game series. Caballero 0 for 7 in the series. I mean, Sanoa, if anything, he's consistent. He starts off back at third and then comes running in when Caballero's at the plate. I think Caballero has it by now.
Told you, Michael, I think he's trying to stay warm.
This happens on every pitch.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't happen with 2 strikes.
And that's booted by Paddock. Regains, fires. Got him.
What did that hit off his foot? Oh, he kicked it.
That's why they call it booting it. But he recovered. And by a half a step.
Wow, very close.
You hear the bench jockeying on the other opposing bench, and what's the line you hear? You need a glove on your foot.
It is amazing how some pitchers just are like allergic to leather when the ball's hit to them. And then for them to try to throw it at like 75%, you know, to a base, it's impossible. They got to air it out, or God knows where it's going.
I'm digging those old school stirrups that Paddock is featuring out there. Those are real. Those are real stirrups. You don't see those too much anymore.
Paddock's 30 years old, 7 big league season, and in February signed a 1-year, $4 million deal with Miami. And he's a veteran pitcher who was skeptical about the team calling all the pitches from the dugout. But he has bought in. He said sometimes we overthink out there. Sometimes we give the hitters too much credit. This game is very hard. Sometimes we overcomplicate things. I think it's going to help me just go out there and pitch.
You know, you wonder what he said after he gave up the 8 runs in his first start. Like if his mind changed a little bit.
Grounded to first. Now in spring training, as he was getting used to it, Joe, he gave the guy who calls the pitches, the assistant pitching coach, Rob Marcello, one of his PlayStation 5 controllers. And he said X, square, triangle, and circle work pretty well, so call whatever you want.
And they actually go back to the analytic department in between innings and check to see what's working and what's not working. You know, what has the correct break, what are they locating. They're looking at the numbers on the pitches. But that can change every inning. That's the interesting thing to me, because you'll see a guy warm up and have great stuff, come in, not get anybody out, and vice versa. It can change from inning to inning.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a range in there that you look for more with regards to fatigue as you move on in the game a little bit. My question is does the pitcher still retain veto power?
Oh, I think they do. I think they have the ability to shake, but it takes a little bit longer, so you got to shake pretty quick. It would probably be in their best interest then to give it themselves.
There were just certain times, Joe, the ball was in my hand and I was feeling a certain pitch. You know, I just threw one and I have instant feedback. Something just comes down to conviction, you know, trust your stuff. You hear all those old cliches about pitching. They're really true for a pitcher. If you don't believe in the pitch you're going to throw, or you don't have conviction, it's not going to be high quality. So you have to have the buy-in, first of all. Okay, I buy into this, but I could still have veto power and shake.
Left field, Hernandez back. And in front of the track, he makes the play. And Paddock retires the Yankees in order. We go to the fifth. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Audi scoreboard 4-2 Yankees. We go to the fifth inning, 9-1-2 in the Marlins order. You know, with the Marlins calling all the pitches from the bench, and they're doing it throughout their system too. So any catcher that comes up through the Marlins minor league system is not going to know how to call a game, because it's always being called by the bench. And I remember covering the Yankees when Billy Martin was the manager. Billy was really, really hard on catchers. And if you made a call for a pitch and the pitch got hit hard, he'd be all over you. And I remember him, I'm talking with him after a game, and he was really jumping on the catcher. Ground ball short. And I said, Billy, if you don't like the way he calls the game, why don't you call it? And he looked at me, he said, that's his job. But he criticized it every single time. So now they're taking it in their own hands. They're making it their job.
You were ahead of your time,
I guess. 16 seasons as a manager, 8 with the Yankees, 5 different times. 11 seasons as a player, 7 with the Yanks, 5-time world champion as a player. 1 world championship as a manager. One of 4 managers to reach the postseason with 4 different teams. Buck, Davey, and Dusty. Covering baseball when Billy Martin was manager, it's like a master class. No matter what you thought of him off the field, the guy was innings ahead of everybody else. Like, he's just thinking 6 innings ahead. I guess all managers try to do that. He was a brilliant game manager.
It's a 24-hour job, though, right? Covering him?
Yes.
24/7?
Yes. Right field. And the seat's foul. There he is. His number 1 retired. Can't do that anymore.
Oh, you can do that. You just get a little heftier fine.
And a little suspension.
Now we just kick dirt on the plate.
came close to kicking him, too. Lou Piniella did that, too, and he threw bases, too. Swing and a miss. Slater down on strikes.
Now, I got to ask you a question, Michael. In the years that I was here, did you ever say on a time that I got thrown out, what is he, out of his mind? This is a great changeup, Coney. You see this changeup, he's way out front. Did you ever say,
I never
is Joe
said that.
out of his mind?
No, I never said it because I knew it. Shallow right, Judge is there. Nice 1-2-3 inning from Max Fried. We're halfway through. Yankees 4, Marlins 2. Off the bottom of the 5th, and we go to how about that? You know that he got 11 votes in the last New York City mayoral race? 2025 batting title season raised his career average from 288 to 294, and one of 2 players with 2 MLB The Show covers. He and Joe Mauer.
How about that?
0-1 on Judge. Now, this is strange. So he got 11 votes for New York City mayor. Jalen Brunson of the Knicks got 27. Other Yankees that got votes, Cam Schlittler, Derek Jeter, and Lou Gehrig.
How many did?
I think they were under 11. Soft ground ball. Sanoa. And they retire Judge. It is Easter Sunday. Got the ears and the bonnet, with all the frills upon it. Bellinger takes inside. He's taking all the way there. 3-0.
I'm telling you, that used to irritate me so much as a catcher, because you try to get a feel for what a guy's trying to do by the way he strides and when they just stand there, you get no information.
And there's ball 4. So Bellinger walks for the second time. That's going to bring up Ben Rice. 3-run home run in the first. Fielder's choice ground ball that was thrown away. Really mishandled by the shortstop Lopez, and that allowed Judge to score. So he's responsible for all 4 Yankee runs. Now, Meredith, you have a story about Ben Rice in that jersey, and a fan involved?
Well, Michael, as they say, adapt and overcome, and Yankees fans had plenty of time during the rain delay to make some modifications to their jerseys. Prior to Ben Rice being here, it was Juan Soto that was wearing number 22, and a fan had bought that jersey, but just crossed off the Soto, wrote in the Rice. There we go. He is ready to go for today's game. Now, Michael, I'm sure you will argue there shouldn't have been a name on the back of that to begin with.
Well, that's the beauty of the Yankee jersey. If you just buy the one with the number, it covers many different people.
But there's certain players that own the numbers that they've worn throughout the years. Obviously, the ones in Monument Park, but you could always play that numbers Yankees game.
3-0 on Rice.
I'd like to see him turn him loose here. If he gets a good pitch, go ahead and swing. Change up, 3-0.
You got a 3-0 changeup. You got a 3-1 cutter. Now what? You're in the batter's box.
I think he's going back to his changeup because he sped him up with the cutter inside. You know, they're trying to get the Yankees where they do that hop, but a lot of these guys do it. Volpe did it a lot, and the pick time is coming from the catcher. He's dropping his glove. You usually see that timing play with a runner on second more than first, but the Yankees, Belly doesn't really hop around.
Runner goes. Ball 4 gets away from Hicks. Well, Bellinger will stay put at second, so a walk to Rice. 2 straight walks, first and second, 1 man out, brings up Stanton. Let's check out one of tonight's player props, brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Giancarlo to hit 1 or more home runs at plus 450. You know what struck me today? I was writing down the lineups. This is Stanton's 9th year with the Yankees. 9 years. You know, Boone was asked, were you a little scared yesterday with Stanton, you know, stealing second? He said if there was a hit, he was going to have to get there anyway. He said, but he's feeling pretty good right now. He said he knows what he can do.
You know what I'm really impressed by Giancarlo is how he knows how to get ready to play a game. In the sense, like in spring training, he was 2 weeks later than everybody. Last year, he didn't go on a rehab. He understands how to use the traject machine, which is the machine that has the pitchers wind up his release point, the stuff that he has. He really understands how to get ready at this time in his career and does a great job.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Stanton down on strikes, 2 away.
Well, this is perfectly located right above the belt, really letter high.
And Stanton has a swing that doesn't have like a high attack angle. It's pretty flat. So that's a pitch that he can get to.
Just make it clap.
Chases Bellinger back to second.
Can you explain to me why you can do that, but you can't do the third and first?
I just don't think they like Nelson. Jeff did that all the time.
Yeah, he had a good one, too. He had to because he was somewhat slow to first base. He had to do everything he could to hold runners on.
Woo! 1-2 on Jazz Chisholm, who's 0 for 2 today. And that one gets away. The runners move up.
Just hangs onto a changeup and spikes it way in front of home plate.
We talked about that a lot yesterday. As a catcher, from his vantage point, that ball's supposed to go to his left, not to his right, and that's what locks you up. You know who could do that the best with me was Andy Pettit. His changeup, he would pull it, and I had no chance.
Three and two. Wells on deck. Yankees up 4-2. Looking to pad that lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Second and third, 2 outs. Up the middle. And right there is Lopez. And he gets Chisholm for the final out. Yankees strand 2. 5 innings of Max Fried. 3 starts of Max Fried. He has been dealing. The Yankee ace has allowed just 2 runs in 3 starts. How many more innings? Stay tuned. Well, thank you, Bob. We go around the majors, and we'll take a look at this after this pitch to Marcy, which is outside. How about the night for Joe Adell? Literally robbed 3 home runs. That would have been gone over the fence. Great plays. Murakami has played very well. The White Sox took a chance on him, and Shea Langoliers 5 home runs this season, tied for the most in the major with Chase DeLauder. And Shea Langoliers in the A's coming in starting on Tuesday night. Now, Joe, let me ask you one question about one of the plays by Adell. The last home run he robbed. And by the way, robbing 3 home runs in a game the Angels won 1-0. So he saved the game 3 times. One of the ones he jumps and he falls into the stands with the ball. Should that be a catch or should that be a home run?
Well, I know it's a catch, but I think it should be a home run.
I've always thought
I think
that
you
too.
have to come down with the ball in bounds.
Right. David?
That's a low bridge there in Anaheim.
Yes.
It's not fair. And that was the best pitcher of the year. Whoever took that shot at him when he's standing up in the stands in the first row behind and he's holding his hands up, that's a pitcher of the year.
Because how do you know that he doesn't drop it a little bit when he's on the ground?
It's happened before.
Yes.
I think Todd Frazier did that once, didn't he?
That's right. He's in the studio, and there's a video of him. He went into the stands, made the catch, ball dropped. He picked it up. Umpire didn't see it. They called out.
That's why I think that you have to come down in play, whether it's a foul ball or a home run.
The Jersey guy right there. The Jersey guys know. You know he's from Tom's River?
I heard, yeah. I heard he once took a picture with Jeter, too. And that's a base hit through the right side. Marcy is going to third. The throw is not in time. Good strong throw. So a base hit for Lopez. And the Marlins have runners on the corners. Nobody out.
Good job by Judge, though, throwing it cutoff to the cutoff man head high. So the runner at first can advance. If he airmails this, the runner at first is going to go to second, and Caballero does a good job of acting like he's going to catch it. It keeps Lopez at first base.
Judge's arm is all the way back.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball really well.
That's really a good sign. We saw it and almost at the end of last year, and we saw it in spring training this year that he was all the way back. WBC has showed up too.
So, you know, it's been a long wait for Max Fried all day. He's struggling a little bit, not the normal sharpness. These Marlins are putting the bat on the ball. They're tough outs.
And there has not been a lot of hard contact. I mean, that wasn't hard contact. It's just perfectly placed. And when you face teams that put the ball in play, some days that's going to happen.
Here's Heriberto Hernandez. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. Runner stays put at third. So a stolen base for Lopez.
If you're going to run on a lefty, you got to go first movement, or you're not going to have a chance. And He gets a really good jump. Good job by Chas making sure that he caught that ball and secured it so it doesn't go in the outfield and they get another run that way.
Yankees will play the infield back. They'll give up a run. They don't want to give up 2. Hernandez dangerous in these situations. Last couple of years, 25 for 79. That's 316 with runners in scoring position. Two and one. Two and two. Manny Gonzalez gets hit.
It's those ones that hit direct on, like the chin, that really get you. It was kind of a glancing blow. I mean, it still hit hard. Thing about Hernandez is we saw yesterday he can get on top of that fastball and rifle it into right center. So
what are you calling here?
Me, changeup.
You're going to finish him with a changeup, right?
Yeah, I'm finishing with something down.
Ground ball, Caballero. High throw. Everyone's safe. Lopez moves to third. The run scores. It's 4-3 Yanks.
Yeah, he gets it. He's got plenty of time. He just ends up throwing it high. He gets his elbow down a little bit and throws it high to Ben Rice. And good job by Lopez moving up to third base. And now the Marlins are set up, you know, to get that run in from third a lot easier with him on third and nobody out. Good job by Ben Rice making sure that he caught it and left the bag. Now you got to think about still, we can give up this run. We don't want to give up 2 now. We want to keep at least a tie game.
Here's Connor Norby. Just missed getting him. And Ben Rice points to the dugout, so I think I got him.
Tom Hanahan, the first base, made a long time decision before he said anything.
And the Yankees will challenge.
New York is challenging the safe call at first base.
And he's out. What a big out for Fried if they overturn that, and they should.
You know, the interesting thing, he wasn't going anywhere. He actually got closer to the bag.
Yeah, he was looking at home. He was peeking into home a little bit. Just caught him glancing away for a split second. That's all it took.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. New York will retain the challenge.
Well, 4-time Gold Glove winner, that's Max Fried. He wins himself games. 37th career pickoff, the most in the majors since 2017.
Now you get the infield in if you're Max Fried. Now, hey, I'm thinking Houdini right now. Got to get strike 1 right here.
Norby's put 2 tough at bats. He's walked twice on him. And I feel like Norby, with the uppercut that he has, is actually a low ball hitter. And you think about, okay, you don't want to go up because you don't want to give a fly ball, but that might be the place to get him out.
And they're coming home. He's safe. Called him safe.
He must not have tagged him because he was there in time. A really good throw by Caballero.
Well, if that call stands, it's a 4-4 game.
New York is challenging the safe call at home plate.
Now the Yankees are going to challenge this.
It's a little bit of an old school play. It looked like Wells was bracing for contact, right? Almost.
Yeah, and you can't really see it from that angle. We're going to have to get an angle from the first base side. Here we go.
Yeah, he's out. Got him on the elbow. Also, to call him safe, he never touched home plate.
And you're not supposed to make a call if they don't touch home plate.
Right.
So he's 0 for 2?
0 for 2. Good job by Wells. You just don't see collisions anymore. You just don't. Guys slide. And he never touches the plate here. And he calls him safe. He gets it there.
He's saying, we're taking so long.
Yeah, because you don't want your pitcher standing out there to be cold. And are they saying he blocked the base?
After review, call on the field is overturned.
Yeah.
Runners out. New York will retain the challenge.
David, can we change the cliche and say that a challenge is a pitcher's best friend?
There you go. I like it. I was just thinking about all the calls in history that could have been overturned for a minute.
It's a really good job by Caballero. He sets his feet really quickly and gets the ball to Wells as soon as he can. He's got plenty of time to make the tag. Look how quickly he gets rid of this ball. He doesn't take the extra crow hop or hop. Wells is able to tag him on the elbow.
So it's 4-3. Yankees still lead. And here's Xavier Edwards. And that one, Norby was almost heading back to first base. He was a foot away. So the Marlins have run themselves into 2 outs on the bases.
And Michael, that's something they did on a regular basis last year. They were 5th in most in baseball. But with an aggressive team that's going base to base, extra bases, it's going to happen. And it doesn't include caught stealings or pickoffs or force outs. But they're aggressive on the bases.
Caballero. And that'll do it. Here in the 6th, Marlins get a run. Yankees lead by 1. Six come out at Yankee Stadium on Friday, April 17th, when the Yankees take on the Royals. First 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Yankees hockey jersey courtesy of StubHub. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Austin Wells leads off, and he'll take a strike from Chris Paddock. Paddock in his 4th inning of work was supposed to start. Pete Fairbanks opened, and Andrew Nordy the 2nd. And then Chris Paddock came in to start the 3rd. Yankee bullpen has been used a lot, and you wonder how Boone is going to navigate the final 9 outs. In all likelihood, Joe, I don't think you use Bednar tonight, right?
No, I think there's 3 guys down today. Bednar, Hill, and Hedrick.
Grounded to first. Norby makes the play. The one pitcher he has not used this season is Cade Winquist. And that would be his major league debut. And I asked Boone, have you spoken to him? He goes, no, he's ready. He goes, I try to tell everybody, You might not be in the game for a while, but when you're in the game, you might be a big part of winning the game. So you have to be ready. Now, Meredith, you spoke to Winquist. He must be just waiting impatiently.
Well, Michael, I think the nerves were probably there early on, but he's been around long enough now that those nerves have dissipated as there's the second out of the inning. And I asked him how he is staying ready, and he said he needs to come to the ballpark every day thinking that could be the day that he is going to get in the game. He goes through his entire routine like he normally would and just maybe throws a little bit more if he's not used in a game. But all in all, he said not much has changed out of his routine. He's looking forward to the opportunity. His parents and his girlfriend have been here at the stadium hoping his number is going to get called soon.
Now, this would be a rough way to debut in a one-run game. You would think they'd want to get a little bit of a soft landing, but again, they have 9 outs to get. Let's see how they do it.
What would I say, Michael, about that situation?
Not what you want.
No.
Ryan McMahon breaks an 0 for 21 with a 2-out single. Well, let's check out the bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. They used Bednar, 33 pitches last night. Noval, 23. Cruz, 5. I guess he's available. Blackburn, 28. Probably not available. Hill, 14. Previous night, 2 pitches. Hedrick, 7. And they didn't use Yarbrough. So Bird's available, Winquist and Yarbrough that didn't pitch last night. And a strike to Grisham.
I would think that Yarbrough is going to figure in this game because we know the Marlins will switch out all the left-handers for the right-handers. In the second time through, if they get to that, that could be Yarbrough's spot.
Woo! 0-2 on Grisham.
Or you could just go out and score 8 or 9 runs, make it easy on yourself.
So if you're in the dugout right now and you're game planning this, Joe, is that what you're thinking? Like if I can get him to flip and then go to Yarbrough? So you get Cruz, Fernando, you try to get him to flip, force their hand?
Yeah, because you got Hicks up first. Sanoja, they'll probably let hit against the right-hander, I would think, because he's swinging the bat. Well, they'll pinch hit for Slater. So the next time you get to that, yeah, that looked a little low.
Well, it's called a strike 3, and Grisham's going to challenge.
Strike call.
T-Mobile ABS challenge. Let's see if Grisham's right. No, he's not.
The call is confirmed.
The call is confirmed. We go to the 7th inning. 4-3 Yankees. It's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 247 average. 405 hits, 45 home runs. Now, this is a 1. Played for the Yankees in 2025, now with the Marlins in 2026. Started with the Giants, the Reds, the Orioles, and the White Sox. I think I know this. So Max Fried, I believe he's at 96 pitches. He comes out. Fernando Cruz heating up. So they have him come out to get Hicks. All the way to the backstop. 1-0.
Ooh. Chin music?
That's why they call it chin music right there. You could hear it buzzing by. Thank goodness. No harm, no foul.
He's beating with some fastballs today, too, and I think that's probably how he's going to try to get him out.
So 2-1 on Hicks. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the Marlins order here in the 7th. So, Joe, these decisions, although you can't make them before the game, you have got your game planned out. You've got kind of an idea of how you're going to go according to how many innings you get from the start.
Yeah, and I think it depends on, too, who they pinch hit, and you understand who you have. But the one thing I realized fairly quickly as a manager, it never goes as it's planned. And sometimes you have to deviate from that plan. And I would think, too, that, you know, I'm talking about Yarborough for the lefties at some point, but the importance of possibly going back to Duvall and showing confidence in him. Because it's a long season. He looked good in San Francisco. He struggled a little in Seattle. He struggled a little bit yesterday. But that confidence that a manager shows to a player is very important.
Behind the plate, Wells didn't see it. No problem. It goes into the seats anyway.
That's such an excellent point, Joe, because, you know, your job as a manager is to win the game, but yet you're trying to build confidence.
You've got to win the season is what you got. And sometimes that one game can mean a lot in changing the way a person feels about himself on the field.
So the count full on Hicks. Hicks 0 for 2 against Fried. Fried in his 7th inning of work. Pitch counts at 103. Center field. Grisham right there. 1 down.
I'm sure that Aaron Boone had this conversation with Max Fried in between innings. How do you feel? What do you want to do? And Max is that kind of guy. He wants the ball. Pitch number 103 about to be delivered.
Boy, they just did him a favor. Fly ball caught by Grisham, 2 away. And that's going to do it as Boone will get the ball. We have it at 105. The scoreboard has it at 103.
I trust our guys.
So do I. So 105 for Fried. And his 3rd start of the year. First one on normal rest. And Boone signals to the bullpen. Fried's going to get a nice hand. Why don't you listen? Only at your local Hyundai dealer. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. And by the New York Lottery, this could be your lucky play. Let's check out the pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, these are the type of outings that you really appreciate as a starting pitcher. You didn't have your sharpest stuff. The Marlins put some good at-bats on you, but you made pitches when you had to. And then when you got in a jam, you picked up your shortstop who made a throwing error on you as well. So, yeah, that's a real feel-good start. Even though he's a perfectionist, he's going to critique himself, but that was a good effort.
On Casey pinch hitting for Slater. And the first pitch is a ball from Fernando Cruz.
That might have been a really effective pitch there. It looked like he got some dirt in his eye. Maybe he can't see quite as well now.
Yeah, that's real dirt. That's not a Bernie Williams trick right there. That's real.
I used to do that a lot, just stall to get the pitchers ready.
On the pinch hitter. This start similar to the one against the Giants where didn't have his best stuff but made it work. Then the game against the Marlins, he was extraordinarily good. Everything was working. So he gives the Yankees 6 2/3 innings, a 3-run ball, knowing that they have a really short pen.
And I would think that you would turn him loose in this situation. I know he's a young player, but I would.
And they did. By the way, since last year, Fried 6th in the major league in innings per start at 6.12.
He did what an ace does. On a day where the bullpen was a little bit short, he gave you a good distance.
There's that pitch.
It's amazing the drop he gets on his split.
The late waterfall effect movement he gets with that pitch.
Spoiled that one.
The nirvana for any pitcher that has a moving pitch like Cruz does is that you get the hitter to commit first before the movement happens. That's what you call late movement, right? I mean, if you can have the kind of movement that he does, where the bottom drops out of it at the last minute, that's the most effective one.
Swing and a miss. And the pinch hitter goes down on strikes. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead this one 4-3. But we'll stay right here as we honor America here in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome honored military guests. United States Army Specialist Jack Azar from Brooklyn, who served in Vietnam. The Yankees say, "Thank you, Jack, for your sacrifice and your service to our nation." Please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of "God Bless America."
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains.
We go to the bottom of the 7th, 4-5-1 Yanks, 3-5-1 for the Marlins. Paddock 4 innings in relief. Xavier Edwards an RBI double. Max Fried a workmanlike 6 2/3. Ben Rice in the first inning a 3-run home run. And by the way, there was a 3-hour and 35-minute pregame rain delay. But here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Owen Casey takes over in right field. He pinch hit for Slater. And Aaron Judge will lead off.
Yeah, this is where the Yankees, I think, need to add on. This group of hitters, these next 3 hitters, have been on 4 times against Paddock. A double, 3 walks. And they got to take advantage if they get some base runners this inning. 3rd time through off of Paddock. It's almost, you can see the influence of all the breaking balls the Marlins are throwing, because they're sitting on, it looks like, slow stuff.
The Yankees are out of challenges. The Marlins still have their 2 remaining. They've been successful on their challenges, but the Yankees challenged on the base paths twice, and they got those right. As Judge goes down on strikes. Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org. Here's Bellinger. Driven into left field. Hernandez back. He has room. 2 down. And that brings up Ben Rice, the 3-run home run in the first. His ground ball led to an error that allowed Judge to score in the third, and then he walked in the fifth. Great start to the season for Ben. 370, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in, on-base percentage of .500, and an OPS of 1.352. That's Judgian.
Sounds like the Montefiore game, player of the week.
Could be. Cam Schlittler saying, wait a minute.
Hey, hold the phone.
Don't forget me. And a strike.
Well, sometimes the best laid plans, for the Marlins, tried the opener strategy, and this guy ruined that strategy in the first inning. Paddock's been pretty good.
And here it is. Congratulations to Cam Schlittler on being voted the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week.
0 for 1. 0 walks, 15 punchies. That's pretty good.
We'll give you a mulligan because today's probably not included.
He didn't walk anybody yet.
Striking a lot of people out, too.
Is the week over? What if you
Just
another
began.
one?
Sunday.
It's a new week.
Yeah.
It's a new week today? All right.
The on-base percentage just went up. And that'll bring up Giancarlo Stanton, and it leads us to the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay. How about this guy scooting around the bases yesterday?
How many times did you think that he created a run all by himself by running the bases?
It lit up the Yankees bench.
Oh, yeah.
They just
love it. They love it. I'd like to see him light him up again with a long one.
And a challenge, another catcher challenge. T-Mobile ABS challenge.
The pitch is a strike. 0-1.
They never
Miami
did
reject.
it.
Can they lose one?
It's unbelievable. Marlins 10 of 11 successful in this series. Yankees 1 of 7. Yankees have been very good coming into this series, but not in this series.
I cannot wait to hear Paul O'Neill's take on this challenge system.
I think he would have loved it.
Yes.
I do. He would have challenged all the time.
Yes, he would have.
Because he challenged everything anyway. He just couldn't get anywhere with it.
You know how many water coolers would be saved?
Oh, yeah. I know. And I think he would have been pretty good at it because I thought he had an excellent eye.
But he would not have taken kindly to have a ball called catcher challenge and then it turns into a strike.
Oh, yeah. He just didn't like strikes called on him.
The 1-2.
That's one rule that I would like to change a little bit. Like, I think if a pitcher holds the ball like 8 or 9 seconds, you ought to be able to call timeout. because I think they're using it to their advantage. They get the sign really quickly, and then they hold.
That's why I say a lot of times the hitter doesn't have to acknowledge until the 8-second part.
Yeah.
So if you get in the box too quick, then it's on you.
But you don't want to get in too late.
See, there's 18 seconds right now, 17. And, you know, Stanton and Judge both, they stay in the box the whole time. It doesn't bother them.
Rice will go 3-2, 2 outs. That one is drilled to left field, and it is over the head of Hernandez and off the wall. He just hit it too hard. Ball goes into second, and Rice has to stop at third. A blistering line drive that almost went through the wall.
116.3. Just get a little bit more air under it. And what a really good at bat. A 3-2 count. He hits this ball so hard. Bounces right back to the left fielder, Hernandez, and he comes up. He's smart. He throws it right to second because he knows the problem's going to be there. Rice is going to get to third because he's moving on the pitch. The only danger in this is if it gets by the second baseman, Rice can score. But Giancarlo Stanton, another good day, hitting the ball really, really hard.
This Bud's for you.
Look at the dent in the wall.
Yeah. Yes, is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Well, the Yankees wanted that Stanton drive to keep climbing. It fell about maybe a foot and a half short of being a 2-run home run. So John King comes on. Jazz Chisholm has struggled 1 for 11 in this series against his former team. He's up. Big spot. We mentioned the bullpen a little thin. Give him some breathing room with some runs here. And Joe, we talked about this yesterday. You'd like to have Stan be able to score on a double, and you'd have to use a pinch runner, but the game's too close, and you don't want to risk
It's too close. His spot coming around the ninth is only 8 hitters away, so you have to leave him in.
2-1.
Jazz wanted to challenge. There's none left. Boy, they can throw some borderline strikes, can't they?
Two and 2. Scoreboard says 3-1, but the umpire is showing Jazz it's 2-2. Walls is on deck. Ground ball first base. Norby there steps on the bag. And the Yankees strand 2 as we go to the 8th inning. It's 4-3 Bombers.
Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. As we told you yesterday, Garrett Cole is expected to throw a simulated game here at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. The target date for his return is still end of May or early June. He has been progressing nicely coming back from Tommy John surgery. You see him right there in the Yankees dugout. And guys, I followed up with Carlos Rodon, who threw his first bullpen yesterday since having a little tightness in his hamstring. He said all went well with that. It was a typical bullpen, about 20 to 25 pitches. Said whenever you're rehabbing from an injury, getting built back, you have some soreness along the way. You expect that, but nothing that he thinks is going to keep him out too long. He expects to throw most likely another bullpen and then perhaps a sim game thereafter.
Thank you, Meredith. Can you imagine this staff with those two guys back? And down goes a Ramirez against Fernando Cruz.
Against that pitch.
Well, that pitch has been exceptional this year so far in the early going, as he has a great feel for it. He's been able to throw it for strikes. He's throwing his fastball for strikes enough to set that pitch up. He's been locked in.
Here's Marcy. And a strike.
He hides the ball well too, Kona. He hides it behind his shoulders and he has that turn. Double barrel down there.
All right, Joe, say Cruz gets through this inning.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you closing with?
I'm going to go to Jake Bird, I think. Who's up down there? Him or Duvall?
You may be right, Joe. He may be thinking, you know what, I'm going to throw Duvall out there again in the ninth. We'll see. But we'll see. We'll see how he plays it. Only the shadow knows. I like the way Bird's throwing the ball, though, sir, in the early.
Yeah. And you're going to start with a right-hander. They would probably pinch hit for Hernandez if you get through this inning unscathed.
Cruz, when he delivers the pitch, it sounds like a tennis serve. He lets out a grunt. Listen.
One thing that Marcy does have is he has a good eye, and I know he struggled offensively at the beginning of this year, but this guy has had an extremely high walk rate wherever he's been. Minor leagues in his career, his on base was 150 points higher than his batting average. That means that there's a lot of walks in there. And you say if a guy's 100, that's excellent. 150.
So if you're catching right now, you calling another splitter? You're going to call a fastball.
I have to.
You have to call a splitter. His best pitch.
Yeah.
Well, with the four-seamer, stayed away from the splitter, and he ends up walking Marcy. Boone looks poised to go up that step. And he will. So with Otto Lopez due up, no signal yet. There it is, the right-hander. So Bird's coming on. Bird against Lopez. Time runs on first. That Yankee brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. Those are the numbers. Those are the teams. He was in today's starting lineup. Austin Slater. That's some strange named at Yankees this year. Let's go to the ball. And it's not really old film. Didn't play much with the Yankees before he got hurt. Yankees were excited when they acquired him. Right-handed bat off the bench. But he started the year with the Marlins.
Yeah,
got 2 hits today.
Blew out his hamstring really early in his Mets.
About the third game.
Yankees tenure, yes.
There's Jake Bird against Lopez.
Tony, you're excited about Jake Bird and that little four-seamer that he featured. I know he's sinker breaking ball for the most part. But that four-seamer has a little cut.
Yes, I think it complements his repertoire perfectly. He's got exceptional break on his sweeper.
8th inning, Yankees lead by 1. Bird has retired 13 of 14 batters to start the season. 4 1/3 innings, just 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, no walks. And 6 of the 9 batted balls have been ground balls.
Yeah, Marcy's trying to time Bird. He started to that little hop, 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 but stopped. And if he would have kept going, he would have had the base. He's 14 for 20 last year. He's 1 for 1 so far this year.
Three 3-0 on Lopez. Lopez 2 for 3. And he walks Lopez on 4 pitches, puts the tying run at second. And Griffin Conine comes up to pinch hit for Hernandez. So Matt Blake will go over the scouting report on Conine.
We should do a new school, old school. New school pitching coach, you know, talking about mechanics and numbers. Old school pitching coach, what would he say, Joe?
He would look you in the eye and tell you, get ahead and put him away. I mean, that's
Babe Ruth's dead. Throw strikes. Babe Ruth's dead.
Or the old, I don't know what you're doing wrong, but you're really taking off Booney.
Yes.
That was the Art Fowler line. So here's Conine pinch hitting. Yarborough remains up in the Yankee pen. First and second. 1 man out. Bird hits Conine, and that's going to load the bases. A walk, and a hit batter. Quite the rally by the Marlins.
Right on the back foot. Got him twice. Back foot, front foot. Just overthrew a sweeper there.
Now Graham Pauley will pinch hit for Norby.
Well, he's got a good sinker. If he could get a ground ball, he could get a double play here.
Tying runs at third. Go ahead runs at second. Bases loaded. 1 man out in the 8th. Yankees up 4-3. And a strike. So Bird in a high leverage situation here. Yankee bullpen a little light after all its usage last night. Trying to piece it together. .96-mile-an-hour sinker, 95. 0-2.
And he gets underneath it sometimes, and it almost looks like it's going up. It's not really sinking because of the lower arm angle. And then right at the end it dips.
The 0-2 to Pauley. And again, that got Manny Gonzalez.
Yeah, that got him pretty good. I think that was a little bit harder and more direct than the one he had earlier in the game. Hasn't been a good trip for the umpires here. Oh.
Marcy with a decent lead off third. He checks his swing. Each team with 6 hits. Yankees lead 4-3. 3-run home run by Ben Rice, and then a throwing error. Actually, just an error on a throw in the third. That's the 4 Yankee runs. Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit. It's going to go to the wall. 1 run scores. 2-run score. And they're going to hold Conine at third. It's a 2-run double for the pinch hitter Pauley. And just like that, the Marlins take the lead 5-4.
Well, he tried something different, Coney, after he threw all those sinkers, and he just didn't throw a good sweeper.
Trying to backdoor it and just took it with him. Brought it back over the inner half. Down the line it goes.
Well, double, knocks out Bird. The third batter he faced. So Edwards coming up. They're bringing in Yarborough. The Yankees are now down by 1, 5-4. Local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. So Bird's first rough outing of the season. He looked good before that.
Yeah, he came in, had a little trouble throwing strikes early. Left a breaker out over the plate. Marlins have come back.
Second and third, one out. Yankees bring the infield in. And a strike from Yarborough.
This is where Edwards has shined. Runners on third with less than 2 outs because he's such a contact hitter. He's gotten him in 64% of the time, and league average is about 54.
Against left-handed pitching, hits .260 with a .631 OPS. Against righties, .322, .791 OPS. That's why they bring in Yarborough. Infield in. Edwards actually was born in Mineola, then moved to South Florida when he was 5. And he grew up a Yankee fan.
So where is Mineola?
In Long Island.
Okay.
Garden City area?
Yeah, you acted like I should know exactly where that's at.
My old hanging out. No, it's my old stomping grounds.
Really?
Ground ball through for a base hit through the drawn-in infield. Conine scores. Here comes Paulie. He'll score. It's a big 2-run single. And Miami leads 7-4.
They are hard to put away, Joe. They put the ball in play. With the infield in, that's going to work right there, that swing.
Edwards with a 9-game hitting streak. And he's 16 for 34 on the year. Gotten off to a great start. Runner goes. Throw to second. Scoots away, but backing up is Jazz. Stolen base for Edwards.
This is also what they do, Joe. They push the envelope.
Yeah, he went first movement. He's thinking stolen base. He doesn't peek in at all. And I think if Austin Wells makes a good throw, he's probably got him there. Ball had a little bit too much tail.
One and one. So now the Yankees will have to come from behind. They're trailing 7-4. High drive right field, backing up is Judge. He's on the track. He'll make the play. Edwards scoots to third. Remember, the Marlins closer not available. He opened the game. So they're going to have to find a way to get the final 6 outs. Here's Sanoa. One and 0. Runner at third, 2 outs. Strike. Sanoa 0 for 3. Sanoa not very tall. He was a non-roster invitee in 2023, and the Marlins played the Astros in spring training. And he made sure to talk to Jose Altuve. And Altuve gave him words of encouragement. Don't worry if you're tall. You're strong. You can play the game. Look at me and just go every day to the field. Prepare yourself well. Try to play every position. That way you can open a lot of doors to play in the big leagues.
Yeah, he
played from the same hometown in Venezuela.
Played every position and won the utility role Gold Glove last year.
Swing and a miss. Sanoa down on strikes, but a 4 spot by the Marlins in the top of the 8th. They lead by 3. Hitting down at AAA, 379, 2 home runs, 7 ribbies. He's had some problems in left field, but he can hit. George Lombard, the #1 prospect for the Yankees, 6 for 9, 3 extra base hits, a home run in 2 games with AA Somerset. And then Carlos Legrand opened everybody's eyes in spring training. 7 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts in 2 starts with AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Hyundai scoreboard, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees down by 3. Calvin Fauché comes in to pitch, and you see the changes on the field.
Throws that cutter a lot, Coney. And he's got 96 and 97 in the tank, but that's his pitch.
So Wells 0 for 3, 1 for 7 in the series. Looking for his first home run of the year.
A little windshield wiper there.
Yes.
By the catcher. Windshield wipers go, though, like across, not out. I never understood. I guess they do on the way back.
Yeah, the catchers try to bring it back.
European cars. They go different.
Yeah.
Two and 2 on Wells. Line down the left field line, but slicing foul. You being here this long, you deserve a baseball.
Did he wears his sunglasses at night too.
Fauché gave up an unearned run last night. He walked Stanton, who then stole second and scored on a pass ball. Caballero on deck. Wells has worked the count full. And Fauché deals. High drive, left field. Conine back, still back. He's on the track, reaches up and makes the play.
You know, when you're struggling and you put a good swing on a ball like that, I mean, it's extremely frustrating. And it's really hard for a lefty to go the other way, especially this time of year when it's cold. The ball doesn't carry quite as well to go deep. But he hit that ball really hard. To me, that's a good sign.
It's Caballero 0 for 3, 4 for 30 on the year. 1-0. Popped up. Shallow right field. And Casey makes the play. Tuesday on Yes, the Yankees kick off a 3-game set with the Athletics here in the Bronx. Tune in beginning at 5 for extended coverage starting with the new shows Yankee Rewind and Yankees Lineup before BP in the pregame. Then first pitch is scheduled for 7:05 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Yankee Rewind, look back at the Yankees' previous game and Aaron Boone's full pregame presser. Yankee Lineup, breaking down the Yankee lineup for the night. So 2 new shows on Yes. 1-0 on McMahon, who singled to right in the 6th, and that broke an 0 for 21, his second hit of the season. What? 1-1. And Hicks wants to talk with him.
Something that we haven't seen a lot. The catcher just going out by himself. Their pitching coach comes out a lot, but
you almost need to call him out. He's the one making the signs.
Yeah.
Foul back. Still 2-2. And the pitch. 3-2. Trent Grisham on deck, 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored.
You know, you guys are talking about Stanton and not pinch running for him because he could come back up in the 9th. That's looking, very prescient at this point. But the key is if you can get McMahon on here, even with 2 outs, and then Grisham, then you can get Judge and up with men on base.
Yeah, and for the Yankees to win, Stanton's going to have to hit.
And McMahon works a walk with 2 outs.
2 good at-bats in a row, Michael. The single, the hard single to right field, and then he got behind in that at-bat and was able to work a walk, and now you have power coming up. And Grisham, who had 34 home runs last year. And then Judge, if it gets to him.
Now, if you're on the mound, you got to go after Grisham here.
Yes, you can't mess around.
You won't want to see Judge in this inning.
Well, no, you saw that stat. 27 walks for the Yankees in the series. 6 more today. One and one. As David mentioned, a big at bat. He would bring Judge up as the tying run if Grisham gets on.
Judge getting a little scouting report.
2-1. Fouled into the camera well, and the count 2-2.
Meredith is down there, isn't she? Somewhere? There she is. See her head pop up? There she is.
Guys, that one missed me, thankfully.
Don't quite understand that unless he didn't like the pitch called. Why you're throwing over on McMahon. I mean, the big spot here is the hitter, unless he didn't like the pitch.
Right down the middle. And Grisham down looking. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. We're going to the 9th inning. Miami 7, New York 4. Of the New York Yankees may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Owen Casey leads off. Pinch hit in the 7th and struck out. Four runs in the 8th inning. Moves Miami ahead of the Yankees 7-4. Oh! 1-2. There's Cade Winquist. When he comes in, it'll be his major league debut. And Casey down on strikes.
Yeah, people might ask, why not today? This is a really good sweeper right here. Owen Casey has shown that he's had some problems with the breaking ball, and he leaks a little bit. He's going to have to learn to stay in there as a lefty and go to left field. But Cade Winquist is kind of your last line of defense today because you're trying to stay away from everybody else probably. So if you get in a long game or the Yankees tie it up, you need his innings. And it's frustrating because you're trying to get him in a game, and this is the hard part about managing a bullpen. There's Bender. There'll be some breaking balls coming in here. But that's the hard thing about managing a bullpen, because you got to always make sure you have a last line of defense.
Three-hour and 35-minute delay at the start of the game. The announced crowd of 34,807 here on Easter Sunday. Ground ball, Caballero. He backhand sets. Two-way. Well, fans, Yankee games are on Yes, and they're streaming live on the Gotham Sports app, included for free with your eligible TV provider subscription. Download and sign into the Gotham Sports app now and check out all the great Yankees content, including game highlights, post-game sound, and much more. Coming up for the Yanks, bottom of the 9th, Judge, Bellinger, Rice, and if anybody gets on, Giancarlo Stanton. Here's Jacob Marcy. And a strike. Woo! 0-2 on Marcy.
In a day and age of power fastballs of 98 miles an hour, here's a guy out there throwing 88 and getting it done.
Laid off that one, 1-2.
I always was impressed with him. All those years with the Rays, the way he pitched against the Yankees. You know, he knows what he's doing.
He'd come in a lot of times after an opener. And now he can be the opener in a sense if it's a left-handed laden lineup. And you think about, I mean, he's throwing behind you almost if you're a left-handed hitter. It's really tough to see.
I just believe that the contrast of styles can be so effective, especially in short spurts coming out of the bullpen.
Strike 3. Good inning for Ryan Yarbrough. Yankees down by 3. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Do they have a rally in their bones? And we'll hear from the manager, plus a look ahead to Tuesday's game against the Athletics. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Yankees looking to rally here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Anthony Bender, who has 14 career saves, struggled in the early going this season with a 7.71 ERA. He'll face Judge, Bellinger, and Rice. Judge 2 for 4. Last night, Bender hit Caballero, gave up an RBI singles to Grisham and Judge. That tied the game in the 6th inning. Ground ball, third base, playing deep. Sanoa gets a hustling Judge, one away. Tuesday on Yes, the Yankees kick off a 3-game set with the Athletics here in the Bronx. Tune in beginning at 5 for extended coverage. Starting with the new shows, Yankees Rewind and Yankees Lineup before BP and the pregame. The first pitch scheduled for 7:05 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Cody Bellinger takes inside.
I love those gold jerseys that the A's feature when they're on the road. Nothing like them.
On Bellinger.
Goes back to my Kansas City A's days, Joe. The A's were in Kansas City. If you didn't know that.
You used to go watch?
Well, a little before my time.
Yeah.
3-0.
The catcher is challenged at the call.
Another challenge, the T-Mobile ABS challenge. They got one
The call
wrong.
is confirmed. Miami has one challenge left.
Could be the turning point. What were they, 10 for 11 before that?
Yeah, got it wrong by a lot, too.
He's been back there a lot last couple days.
Three and 1. That's the timeline of the A's. Started in Philly, then Kansas City, Oakland, and now Sacramento on its way to Las Vegas.
Tony, you were around in '67.
Well, I was about 4 years old. Charlie Finley was just a remarkable owner. You know, my dad actually went to a game and won a raffle and won an Angora goat. True story.
So what do you do with that?
He sold it. It was a giveaway.
Bellinger 0 for 2 tonight with 2 walks.
You think about the A's, a lot of power in that lineup, but a lot of strikeouts. They struck out, I think, 50 times in the first 3 games when they went to Toronto.
3-2. Another foul ball.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to see Severino, too. Second game.
He's a different pitcher when he pitches on the road. (3-2), and he walked him. So the Yankees get a base runner. One more. That brings up Stanton as the tying run.
That's all you ask for is a chance, right?
You have a shot.
One swing to tie it up. Get the base runners. Get the swing.
Ben Rice, 1 for 2, 2 walks. The walk to Bellinger was an 8-pitch at bat. First pitch to Rice is a strike.
Bellinger's walked 3 times today. Rice twice.
So quickly down on the count 0-2. 28th walk this series. That ties a franchise record for a 3-game series, which was set in May of 1934.
Scared of the strike zone back then.
A pretty good lineup they had in 1934.
And there's a challenge on the ball call.
The catcher is challenged on the call.
So Hicks is just emptying the bucket.
He's getting greedy now.
He's running it down.
The call is confirmed. They're out of challenge.
So both teams now out of challenges. The crowd was into it.
Every time.
It's very fan friendly. You see it up on the board. A little drama, a little suspense.
And I don't think there's any reason to have a challenge in your back pocket when the game's over. You might as well use it.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play.
Ben Rice, first inning 3-run homer off of Fairbanks. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a great day for the Yankees. They were behind 1-0 in the top of the first and went ahead 3-1 on that. Haven't done much since. Only 1 run.
Another foul ball. The 2-2. 3-2.
What a great take. That one's right there. That's a hard pitch to lay off of.
And that's a pitch that we've seen him swing at in this series. You see this below the zone? Yeah. So it's a ball. They're out of challenges, thank goodness.
This is the 8th pitch coming up. Down the right field line, foul.
Don't understand why he didn't step off. He hasn't disengaged from the rubber. The catcher was telling him to step off. You're going to watch this. Hicks is telling him to step off. He's like, no, I'm not stepping off. I'm throwing this.
Defiantly, I'm throwing it.
It's like the guy that runs through the stop sign at third.
And that's a new record for the Yankees for a 3-game set with walks. And that brings up Stanton as the tying run.
This is all you can ask for, Coney. That's why you don't pinch run for him earlier, because you never know when you're going to be in this situation. Now, if he's able to hit a 3-run homer, or if he gets a base hit, then you pinch run for him. This is a big at bat. Yankees got a couple big at bats because Chisholm has a lot of power behind him as well.
Now, when he hit the single off the wall in the 7th inning, it was 116.3 miles per hour. He left a mark, right? And then in the first, his single was 115.2. That's the 2 hardest hit balls by the Yankees this season. And the one off the wall was the 3rd hardest hit ball of the Major League season so far. Junior Caminero and Ketel Marte have harder hit balls. So here's Stanton as the tying run. One and 0. Bellinger at second. Rice is at first. Stanton never moves out of the box, just waits for the pitch. That one just clipped the outside corner.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit off the plate. Ooh. Has that comeback to it.
Now 1-2.
It's almost, he looks a little further away from the plate today than he has to me.
Bender really living up to his last name. Strike 3. Got him on the breaking ball looking. Yankees down to their final out.
Yeah, you're going to see pitch by pitch here. He gets his first pitch strike, put him in a good spot with that sinker, and then he throws an expand slider to him. Then he's going to come back and he kind of freezes it because it starts in a little bit, and that's a hard pitch for a hitter to hit. But it looks like it's going to hit you, and then it breaks over the plate for strike 3.
Here's Jazz Chisholm. Down the right field line and hooks foul. Jazz has had a rough series and has not had a great beginning to the season. He's 0 for 4 tonight. He's 1 for 12 in this series. Still looking for his first home run. Playing against his former team, the Miami Marlins. Chance to tie the game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Yankees trail 7-4. He's the tying run in the left-handed batter's box. And the Yankees down to their final strike. Doval's up just in case. And the pitch. All the way.
Yeah, he's just a tick late on that, Coney. He's kind of falling across the plate a little bit. You got to worry about that two-seamer if he throws it in on you, but it just looked like he's a tick behind.
A good pitch to hit there. Sweeper right down the middle to a lefty, right-handed pitcher to a lefty. Dangerous pitch in this ballpark.
Bellinger at second, Rice at first. Ball 1. Austin Wells on deck. Driven into right center field. That's going to be in there for a base hit. And it goes all the way to the wall. Bellinger scores. Here comes Rice. He'll score. It's a 2-run double for Jazz Chisholm. And the Yankees have pulled to within 1.
Well, those 3 outs in the 9th inning are a lot of times the hardest 3 outs to get. Their closer open today, and Jazz Chisholm puts a really good at bat on Anthony Bender. He's able to hit this sweeper that's out over the plate into the gap for 2 RBIs. And you look at the Yankees, now they're set up, now a base hit. You tie this game, and that's a big hit for Jazz Chisholm.
We mentioned Chisholm has had a rough go of it. So has Wells, but they're going to intentionally walk Wells. So that puts the winning run at first base. Caballero's due up, but they're going to go to the bench. Let's see.
I think it would be a Scar that would hit here.
The Scar is the lone lefty. And you have Rosario, Grichuk, and Goldsmith from the right side. And it will be J.C. Escarra. So an intentional walk to Wells. And the game in the hands of J.C. Escarra, the backup catcher.
It's good to see him get an at-bat yesterday. I mean, that it comes in big when you haven't hit in a while. You get a chance to get an at-bat yesterday, and might be the difference in the game tonight.
You know, the beauty of the new version of this Yankee Stadium was you got the batting cage right behind the dugout. So he was back there warmed up, getting swings.
So pinch hitting for the Yankee shortstop Caballero, J.C. Escarra. Tying run at second, winning run at first.
I always thought to be a good pinch hitter, you had to be aggressive because you're not into the flow of the game, and I'm not saying over aggressive, but you got to be ready to hit the first pitch because it might be the only one you get.
Oh, Scar looks back at Gonzalez, thought that was high, so quickly he's down 0-2.
He's right. That was high. But there's no challenges left.
Josh Chisholm's at second with the tying run. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And the Marlins take the final game of this series 7-6 as the Yankees leave 2 on base in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, they almost got there. This little comeback, and it was the patience of the hitters before they got on base by walking, and this is a good backdoor sweeper that he throws J.C. Escar that has really good depth, and he kind of got in the hole because of the pitch called before that was up in the zone, and it just changed the hole at bat.
Yeah, the Yankees fought back. Came up short.
Yankees 7-2. Marlins 6-3. We'll come back, wrap things up post game after that. Bob Lorenz and Todd Frazier standing by in the studio with the post game show.